That was wild. So wild. Wow, a little sudden, but so amazing.
I thought it was a little sudden too, but who cares? It was amazing. Like years of pent-up wild girl unleashed in a passionate romantic torrent.
Definitely wilder than any blind date I've ever been on. Don't worry about me either. I'm single, and I haven't been having much luck until tonight.
I'd know a few things about that. Hey, don't worry about a thing. There's plenty of wild left in me yet. Here's my number.
Should I call you maybe?
That song was so 5 years ago, bartender boy.
Don't you think this is going to get weird at your work if people find out?
That's my thing to get worried about. Don't you worry about a thing. What we had tonight was better for me than any corporate job, and I wouldn't mind making this a regular thing.
Oh man, let me tell you, Cindy, I won't mind it either. My life had pretty much devolved to cook in the restaurant and go home. No spark. No craziness. Just trying to keep my sports bar in one piece. Actually, if you really want to stick it to the man, you rented the motel room for the entire night and you could always call off tomorrow.
I love a man with crafty ideas. Heck with this walking me home stuff. This sucker can be an all-nighter. Calling off after a wild night like this is what smartphones are for.
Good morning, Cindy. I trust you're feeling better today than what I heard yesterday about horrible migraines from some hangover.
I think that was my body's way of reminding me the hard way that college was quite a while ago.
It's tough realizing that the years have taken their toll indeed. I had something like that happen a few years ago when I dug out my old beer funnel from many years ago and tried using it again. Regardless, I think you'd better have a seat for this discussion. You really need to keep a closer eye on which phones you have hooked up to which social media accounts.
Animations for World of the Nerd Couple are generated by Plotagon. Visit Plotagon.com to check out the app.
How much went live? I must have fumbled my phone screen and hit a screen button while still a little tipsy.
Enough that some very important people in this company are questioning your judgment.
Judgment? What a surprise. I'm a grown-up adult woman and I have a sex life. Yeah, sure, getting together with the guy was a little sudden and some liquor was involved, but
you work in human resources and may need to handle things like ethics issues and sexual harassment cases. Nothing against you, Cindy. You've done well at your duties here. It's just that because you're HR, your actions receive elevated scrutiny. Many of our company policies not only look at what happens, but the appearance of what happens.
I would know. I'm all too familiar with stuff like our conflict of interest policy where you don't want even the appearance of poor judgment. So it's over for me then. A one-night fling and me deciding to do something private on my own time.
It's not just that, Cindy. Part of what was in the stream was you and your new boyfriend talking about how you were going to pretend you were sick and call off. That's what smartphones are for.
There wound up being some truth to that though. I did have a really nasty hangover when I called in. Brutal. I hadn't drank like that in many years.
That's what makes this case so incredibly complicated. It's most likely not going to be quick or easy to resolve, and I think the last thing you want to do right now is walk into that office and pretend it's business as usual. Here's what I think you should do. I think you should go home and let your mind clear of all of this, then be off for the rest of the week on unpaid administrative leave. The last thing you need to do is look like you're profiting off of this situation.
I'm not, but as we know, the appearance matters too.
All of this depends on what the higher-ups decide to do with this situation. But since your human resources position is most of the reason why this is an issue in the first place, I don't think you would necessarily have to leave the company. I think you might still be able to make a good administrative assistant.
Oh boy. From HR lady to wild secretary. Sorry, Larry. I think this is a pretty big mistake, and that I should start drafting a resignation. See you next week, maybe. Cindy. Don't say it. Just don't say it. I know you've had some choice words about me over the years. No. I'm sorry, Cindy. It was just our different styles. I always knew deep down that you couldn't possibly really be like that, and that it was probably just part of your job. I'm guessing it was. I think it's all over for me. Larry's trying to make it sound like it's not as bad as I think it is. But it is, isn't it? I don't get it. You're a grown woman, just like I am, and you met a guy and hit it off right out of the gate. That sounds more like love at first sight than a reason why you should have to lose your job. It was the social media aspects of it. I left one of our professional accounts on auto login, then accidentally hit the go button in the heat of the moment. Part of what it was picked up was Toby and I joking about calling off so we could make our fling into an all-nighter. I was pretty hungover when I called off though, but I don't know if the executives will see it like that. At the very least I will most likely have to leave HR, but I can't imagine myself as an administrative assistant and don't really have the skill base for anything else. I'm so sorry, Cindy. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with if you need something. Thank you, and it's okay, Lauren. I'll be alright. Perhaps this will turn out for the best after all. I've realized just how much of a monster this job was making me into, and will probably find something to do that makes me happier after all this is over with. When I was younger, I once wanted to go to culinary school and become a chef. I was going to be Sassy Chef Cindy. Perhaps it's not too late. Thank you though for realizing that the monster that my job was making me into wasn't the real me. Now why doesn't this elevator seem to be moving? We still haven't pushed a button yet. Oh yes, that might help. That should do it. You know, now that I've seen how you are when you're not forced to be Little Miss Boilerplate, I think I'm going to miss seeing you around here. Add me to your phone if you ever want me along for girls' night out. Thanks, Lauren. I will.
I heard Cindy had a bit of a social media gaffe.
She did. She's leaving, most likely permanently. You know, at one point I would have cheered and said yeehaw no more Cindy, but I actually feel sad for her. She's not the monster I thought she was.
Oh man, this isn't what I think it is it?
It is.
Things got weird at work.
So weird that I'm as good as gone.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. Hold on a second. Hey Joey, come out for a bit and watch the place while I'm out. I feel as if this is all my fault.
No, Toby, don't feel that way. It's a mixed bag, really.
I actually broke my own rules that night. You're not the first customer that has flirted with me, but something somehow seemed different about you. People told me for years sometimes love just hits you, like you see someone and you're like, that's who I need to be with. I felt terrible to have kept serving you drinks, as I swore you would blame the alcohol in the end, but clearly you didn't.
Even if I completely swore off drinking, just talking to someone who keeps it real and meeting someone out of the blue that I share some common ground with would have made it all worth it.
But you're going to lose your good-paying job now because of me. I feel responsible for ruining the stability in your life.
It's okay. Really. Don't feel bad. Quite frankly, I think I needed this. I was whoring myself out to that corporation. And for what? A decent check, but a life full of emptiness and unhappiness because I had to be the woman nobody could be friends with as a rules enforcer. You're a great guy, Toby, and I'm so happy to have met you, no matter how sudden and love at first sight it was, and no matter how many drinks were involved. Besides, there's something I didn't bring up while I was tipsy. If you can get away from the restaurant a bit and maybe throw on something a little more formal, I would love to take you out to dinner.
Whoa, okay. I'll grab my jacket from my office upstairs. I do the jersey thing because it's a sports bar, but I can look all nice for a girl like you.
Oh my, you look so sharp in that suit. Wow, I'd never know you were a jock if you wore that all the time.
It's a little stiffer than what I prefer to wear, but I keep it in my office upstairs in case I suddenly have to look all important for someone. Shall we head out for dinner? Sassy Chef Cindy. Are you serious? That sounds like some kind of wild cooking show idea.
I was young and dumb at the time, but the name still has something to it, I think. How's the kitchen in that restaurant of yours?
The kitchen is a tad understaffed. Our last sous chef quit a few weeks ago and we've been running around like maniacs to get food out on time. It's probably a good thing we're a bar and move more volume in drinks than entrees. Did you want to become our new sous chef? I can't pay you anywhere near what your company pays you, and I'd feel bad if you felt this was your guilt position for having lost your corporate job.
No, don't worry. It won't be a guilt job, I promise. I learned my lesson about jobs that are all about the check and nothing else. It's no way to live. I'd rather make less and enjoy what I do. Plus, with my HR experience, I could take care of payroll and some back office stuff for you when I wasn't cooking.
You drive a hard bargain, but we don't have any stuffy policies with this kind of business, unlike what you're used to. Deal.
Oh, believe me, my man. I would love to have nothing to do with the fraternization policy ever again. Go ahead, boss. Pick anything you want from the menu tonight. It's on me.
This seamless blending of business and pleasure is going to take some getting used to.
Don't worry about me cooking either. I've been cooking on my own for years. I'm mostly looking for formal certification at this point. I'll use the money I had saved during this job to make that happen.
No worries. Better you than me. There's a reason why I'm always serving drinks at the bar.
Can't sleep. You have to be up earlier than me.
Yeah, my mind's kind of racing with this whole Cindy thing. I can't help but think that it's a symptom rather than the problem. One of the things that keeps happening at the office is people keep taking things the worst way possible every single time. I'm guessing perhaps Cindy will be leaving because she assumes the people judging her incident will do the same thing.
Whoa. I hadn't thought of it like that. So that means that not only has the company's growth stalled, but turnover could start being an issue when people leave for reasons like this.
You picked this up pretty quickly. Next question. When people leave because they've had enough of the negativity, do you think they'll ever tell the truth of why they're leaving?
Of course not. It's common practice to not burn bridges.
Again, bingo. They won't burn bridges. Therefore, keep an eye out for the reason for leaving to be that some wonderful career opportunity came up.
Hold on a second. She might just do that. She was telling me earlier about how she wanted to be a chef when she was younger, and perhaps that it wasn't too late to become Sassy Chef Cindy.
Sassy Chef Cindy. That actually has a nice ring to it. So who is this guy she's seen?
The video that went around had him mentioning his sports bar. Hey, wait a minute. That's it. Let me guess. She returns to the office on her last day with some fairy tale story about how she met a wonderful guy who offered her a wonderful job, and this is a wonderful opportunity for her to do what truly makes her happy for a living, despite everything that has happened.
Like I said, you catch on quick to these sorts of things.
Nerd up, nerd up, nerd up. Woo 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 woo.